finishing up. It is Friday, and we're finishing up. For the last 2 weeks, we've been adding tools to our toolbox. So, Ms. Thompson wants to take a minute today and just kind of review everything we've learned. So first, let's look at our anchor chart from yesterday. Yesterday, we learned about 3 different questions we need to ask ourselves when we're reading. We know that we have to try our tools to figure out words, but then we need to ask ourselves, see if you can read it with me. Does it look right? Does it sound right? Does it make sense? So we need to make sure when we're reading, we're thinking and we're checking those words. We're making sure what we say looks like the word, that it sounds right when we read it in the sentence, and that it makes sense. So, Ms. Thompson has a bunch of little toolboxes. If you notice, our tools are on the pocket chart. I want to review our tools and the strategy that they're supposed to remind us of when we read. So, on the back, Ms. Thompson's got a question I'm going to read you. If you know what tool, raise your hand so you can go get it for the toolbox. Thank you, Malia.
Thank you, Malia.
Which tool is great to use with a partner? Michaela? Which one of those tools do we use with a partner? Cece?
The thing with the little 3 triangles.
Go get it. Our saw. Cece, what does our saw remind us to do? What do you...
To cut the tree.
Okay, we use it to cut the tree, but what does it remind us to do when we're reading? How can you use your partner to help you read?
Ask your neighbor.
Yeah, you can ask your neighbor. Remember we talked about marking it with a sticky note and your partner can help you. Awesome, thank you. Let's try our next one. Which of our tools reminds us to stretch out the sounds in a word? Malia? Okay, come get it. Our tape measure. Malia, what does that mean? What do you do when you stretch out the sounds? Aisha, can you get the door, please?
It means that when you stretch out the word and you don't know it, you only have to say one word.
Awesome. So you say each sound to try to figure out the word. Awesome job. Which tool looks like our mouth getting ready to read? Which tool is supposed to remind us you got to get your mouth ready to read with that first sound? Kenyon? Our wrench. Go get it. Awesome. So remember, our wrench is to remind us to get our mouth ready and say the first sound in the word. Thank you, Kenyon. Which tool helps us remember to look at the picture? Michaela? Antonio?
Glasses.
Our glasses. Come get them. Our glasses remind us when you get stuck on a word, what can you always look at? Lily? The picture. Our pictures help us figure out words. Great job. All right, now they're a little bit trickier. Which tool reminds us to look all the way through the word? That we got to make sure we're looking at all those letters. Jojo? God bless you.
The screwdriver.
Not the screwdriver. Elijah?
The drill.
The drill. Our drill reminds us, like you drill through a piece of wood, you got to drill through the word. You want to look at all the letters to make sure you're reading it right. Because we know sometimes our words like look and like look a lot alike. So they're hard to figure out. Which tool tells us that we can either take a guess or we can skip it and read the rest of the sentence and then go back and try to figure it out? Taj?
Hammer.
Our hammer. Come get it. Our hit it or skip it. So you can always just give it a try or skip it and finish reading that sentence. What's our last tool? Jahara? The screwdriver. Do you remember what our screwdriver reminds us to do? I love that you're using our anchor chart. Lily, do you remember what the screwdriver
You don't know what, just leave the rest of it, and then when you're done the sentence, go back to it.
Well, that's our hammer. Our hammer is our hit it or skip it, right? Where we go back to it. With our screwdriver, remember how Ms. Thompson talked to you about that frustrated face? Make your frustrated face. When you get really frustrated with reading, what should you just do? Antonio?
Just drive on.
Just drive on, right? Just keep on going. Jahara, can you get me the screwdriver? That's just to remind you that if you really can't figure out a word, just drive on. It's not the end of the world. When Miss Thompson comes around to read with you, she can help you, or Miss Sarah can help you. But if you start making that frustrated face, move on. Because Miss Thompson doesn't want you to get frustrated when you're reading. So today, when you're reading, remember, you're using your tools. And I'm really excited because all week when I've been conferencing with you, I'm seeing friends use these. We're not just using one of them, we're trying to use lots of them. And remember to ask yourselves the questions. Does it look right? Does it sound right? Does it make sense? All right, turn and face the smartboard.